Well, hello, everybody. It's good to see you. Glad to be back online. Just telling Ruby I got home Tuesday afternoon, had plenty of time, and had about five breakers that had popped. Had an electrical storm Monday night while I was away. And when I got home Tuesday, breakers had popped, and the lathe had to be reset. Got all that done. Realized my computer wasn't coming on or wasn't on. So I hit the button, and I hit the button, and I hit the button probably about five times. I reached up and push that button, and finally realized I didn't have power to the computer. Finally got that fixed. Then I didn't have internet. So it's just one of those things. Electrical storm got me. And so anyway, we got it all fixed now. Have a new router. All my electrical issues are solved except for a gang of four receptacles that I've got to dig into. But we'll get all that at a later date. We're up and running right now. So anyway, what I've got here today for us, I think I told you all a couple weeks ago, maybe last week, that I was going down to my son's. We had a sycamore tree that we had cut down, and I needed to go cut it up. This is a piece that I cut Tuesday morning. I have another crotch that I brought home the day that we cut the tree down. But this is one that I cut out of the middle of the tree, so it's a bit bigger. And it's still wet. I was just checking it a while ago. I've got I'm getting readings anything from 17 to 24% moisture. The 24% obviously in the end grain, 17 in some of the side grain. Even on the bottom, I'm getting some pretty dry moisture readings. You can see there some crotch figure going across there. I'm going to try to preserve as much as I can. That's why this is going to be the bottom. The outside of the tree will be the top. So this may end up being a natural edge, which would be cool. That'll work great. Won't be a live edge. You'll see when we flip around, about 95% of the bark is gone. It was a pretty bark. It looked like the old Army camo. But it's gone. So this is what we got. Okay, I'm gonna change over to the.
I was going to say, you want to pop me in the background?
Yeah, I can do that before we get started. Bink, there we go. And then, yes, I'm gonna keep it on this view for right now. Sorry, it's a little bit washed out. That's trying to decide what light that is. Guess that's one of my backlights causing all that. Anyhow, better than it was last night. Anyway, I'm going to get started. Ruby's going to let us know who all's in the chat. We're going to go from there.
Okay. Well, first in we have Alex, the wood butcher, then Paul Norfolk Hunter, Michael McEwen, and Paul Findley, Karsten Peterson, all the way from Denmark, Todd at Glen Cove. Let's see. Doug Bennett's joined us, Sheila White. Mike dances with aardvarks. Thomas Kenny has joined us. Rob from Copper Owl. Wyvie Woodshed. Andrew. Let's see. Al Dawson. And Lucy's joined us. Welcome. Heather from Spirit Wind, Wood and Stone. Well, there's a lot of chat going on in the chat box. And Ward Wilson's joined us. Welcome, everyone. Glad you all made it. And for those who just joined us, this is a piece of sycamore that Doug's working on, about 14 inches in diameter. And Heather says she's butchering a piece of birch right now. It's got too many cracks. Sometimes when I've encountered a piece like that, I either cut it up into smaller pieces or I just chuck it into the fire pile. I have a couple of young friends who have fireplaces, and they got mad at me after I taught them how to wood turn because they no longer had pieces they could burn. Every time they go to throw something in the fireplace, they'd say, "Oh, I could make something out of that." Now, Doug, you do realize that you're muted, right? Nope, you're muted again. Still muted. And Sheila said she took some inspiration from your demo last night, Doug, and she did a phone amplifier today. Way to go, Sheila. And I guess you're stuck with me for the time being. So at the end of Doug's demo last night, where he did the phone amplifier, I showed one I had made that looked like this. So it's kind of a cone that goes in. The cone part goes all the way through. So your cell phone just sits in it like this and it amplifies the sound. So I just started out with a cube, and that was how I made mine. So. And Ward says if you tuned in to Tuesday's non-live, smash the like button. By all means, please do.
All right, we should be back on again.
There you go, Mike. You can use mine so you can hear Doug.
Okay, you can hear me now, right?
Yep, and put me back in the background.
Are you sure? There we go.
Well, I don't have my lathe up here in the library with me, so I can't take over the demo for you.
I don't know what was causing that. It just, something in the system not only muted me, but then when it changed my setting on what microphone was being used, which was strange.
And Roger Wallums joined us. Welcome, Roger.
Hey, Roger. I started to say a while ago when Ruby alerted me that I was muted. Welcome, everybody. It is good to see you. Good to have you with us today. This tree was standing 2 weeks ago, about a 50 to 60 foot sycamore.
That's a good price.
Was in a little cluster of sycamore trees, and my son says, you know, if that one right there in the middle came down, he says it wouldn't hurt my feelings, and those other trees would get more sunlight, more water. I said, you're exactly right. He says, why don't we take it down? At the time, I was hot, tired, dirty. We'd cut up a walnut tree, a small one, sometimes known as Kentucky ebony.
Now, out of curiosity, did your son buy the place just to have trees for you to cut down?
No. That was just a fortunate happenstance. He's quite funny. They've got very efficient heat in this house, but the previous owner had put in it's a stove. It's a big wood stove for auxiliary heat, and he was one of those older fellows that was a little worried that the power grid might go down in the winter. So anyway, both of them are kind of outdoorsy and enjoy outdoor kind of things. So they want to use wood heat as much as they can. Plus, it'll be cheaper. They've got plenty of trees around them, and the land behind their house is wooded. So the walnut tree fell on its own in a storm. We got it cut up. I saw the other day it was not he had not brought it up to the house and stacked it yet, or started splitting it. That was his big deal. He wanted to split it. Some of it doesn't need splitting, but
that green's going to be really pretty.
I think so. I'm going to try to get just a little more. That gets me to 350. I don't have a lot of speed going here.
Mike says he went to Worcester on Tuesday, and they had felled a huge sycamore on the site of the last battle of the English Civil War.
Okay.
He couldn't fit it all in a carrier bag.
Right.
That's too bad, Mike. You'd have enjoyed working with it.
I'm going to finish this pass, and then I'm going to do something I don't do very often.
And don't forget to periodically, being as how it's so green, tighten up your headstock and that and tailstock.
Yes.
Because when it's uneven like that, it can kind of work itself loose periodically.
Not only that, that green wood can kind of shrink on you.
Yes.
All right, we're starting to get a little shape there. My goodness, that's going to be really pretty, I think.
Yeah, it's even showing up on camera.
Yeah. I'm going to come out here to the outside and do a little bit of something I don't do very often. I don't come around to the outside specifically and just make it round, but I didn't cut it real round. The various thicknesses of the wood didn't allow me to on my puny bandsaw.
Well, that'll help it balance quite a bit.
I think so. And right now, I think y'all can probably see it's shaking pretty good right this minute.
Yeah, for cutting them round, I have a number of circles made out of MDF with a little hole in the center, and I just nail those on the center of the wood, and then I cut to the edge of the circle on the bandsaw.
Yeah, yeah. I've got mine are cardboard.
Okay.
It was right after U.S. Post Office came out with the flat rate boxes. I got some of those and opened them up and made my templates. Right after that, I went to the post office, got some boxes to do some shipping with. And that's already evened up quite a bit, just a couple of passes.
Yeah, you can see.
Yeah. Anyway, I went, got a couple of boxes to ship some stuff out, and they said, "You're not one of those that's getting boxes to use for other things, are you?" I said, "No, I'm going to fill these up right now." So he never did catch on.
Now, Paul says he hasn't heard anything from Wayne for a while, and he's hoping he's well. I talked to Wayne the other day, and he's fine. He's just got some family problems he has to deal with. as you get older, you tend to find the rest of your family does too, and sometimes they need some help.
Yes, they do. My,
Well, you're not old enough to know about that yet, Doug.
yeah, right. My parents both just turned 88, and Dad's doing real well, but my mother is starting to have some 88-year-old type of issues going on, and that puts an extra strain on Dad.
Well, it puts it on everyone.
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
You know, what's really sad was that I got out a phone book, the old-fashioned kind of paperback ones.
Oh yeah.
I was going through it and realized that everyone in that phone book has passed away.
Oh my goodness.
That's why all my newer friends are all young folks. So hopefully they'll outlast me. And Alex says he hasn't got anyone older than him. It's the younger ones that keep him busy.
Yeah, right.
Well, that's good. They can look after you as well, Alex. And Ron Todd has joined us from the West Bank of New Jersey. Sorry he's late. He asked what happened on Tuesday, and basically, Doug had a power failure that blew out all his circuits and his routers, so he had to get all that fixed. And Heather says that her mom is 88 and she's slowing down now, but still pushing the lawnmower around her 2 acres of yard. Well, good for
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Yeah. My dad's got right at 5 acres, or just over 5 acres, I guess, and they're still mowing the yard. Mother's not anymore. Mother used to do the stuff. Well, she used to do the riding stuff. Dad's got a big zero turn that she enjoyed riding that thing around and getting the yard. And Dad would do the stuff around the house with the push mower and the weed eater. And
Well, I'm still doing all of my own yard work.
good.
Mike,
Good for you.
Mike says Tutankhamun doesn't count as a young folk, Ruby. And actually, yes, he is, because I still remember when Wayne and I had to change his diapers back then when we were working on the pyramids.
All right, just out of curiosity, we're getting moisture meters, or moisture readings earlier. Now
Turn
that
the
I've dug in,
wave up. Yeah.
it'd help if I turn the moisture meter on.
Works better.
26. So yes, it's wet. Yes, it's wet. Another good reason to do a natural edge, because it can warp all it wants to, and I really don't care.
Well, Heather says that pretty soon her mom will be chasing the bears out of her apple trees. And Real Simple Things has joined us. Good evening and welcome. Hope you're keeping well, boss. Well, the wood looks like it's cutting really nice.
It really is. Well, go the right direction. Yeah, it's cutting super great. It's fun when it turns like this. You do have to deal with your warpage and cracking and those types of things, but it sure is fun to turn wet wood. It just comes off these great big heavy ribbons.
Well, Karsten was asking earlier about the flowers that I made, And those flowers are all, they have to be turned from wet wood in order to get them to hold up and last. That's what's addictive about turning wet wood, is you see on all the shavings coming off like they're coming off right now. Yep.
They're pretty hefty. They're pretty hefty.
And if you need to, you can put them on your head and wear them as a hat.
There you go.
And if any of you didn't see Doug's demo last night, go over and check on Worldwide Woodturners when they put it up, how he made his phone amplifier. Did a really nice job on it. And Mike points out that it's easier to clean up the streamers too.
Yeah, they sweep up a lot quicker.
Well, I used to have a clothesline that ran over my lathe down the length of the basement. And when I first started, I had one really long streamer that just wound itself right along the clothesline. And for the heck of it, we measured it, and it was 9 feet long.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe you want to change camera so we can see the back end? Yeah. So you're going to put a tenon on there?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. It was interesting when I was in Australia, a number of the fellows just make a groove in such a way that it can be used either as a tenon or a mortise.
Yes, yes. Can't think who it was. I just recently was noticing that they were doing that, and several people on YouTube will do. They'll kind of scoop it out to the tenon, so that it leaves a place out here that can be a foot later, which is not a bad way of doing it either.
Mm-hmm.
If I was trying to avoid. All right.
Now the hardest thing about turning some green wood when it cuts nicely like this is your tendency is you want to watch the wood cutting off your tool as opposed to looking at the shape up above.
Yeah, yeah.
That's part of what makes this hobby so addictive.
All right. I hope I'm to the point. Can I go past it? I think I can. There we go. That's slinging water like nuts. If I had a good raincoat, I'd go put it on.
So are you going to take this down to finished thickness, or are you going to leave it wider so you can return it later?
No, I think I will go to finished. Let's see. I want to see if hopefully I didn't just take out my crotch figure. It's still there, but it's getting thin. So I'm going to make this edge, you can't really see it, but there's a little raised place right there. I'm gonna make that my foot, so I keep some of that crotch figure coming across here. I want to take from here and come up. Pretty open shape.
Okay. Are you going to add any color?
Very possible. Bumping out here, I think. Golly. Every time I get in line or start to get in line, I get sprayed with water.
And
Where am I hitting?
Dale from Old Man River has joined us. He almost
Hey,
forgot
Dale.
we were doing a live today.
Well, it's the wrong day, isn't it, Dale? But I figured, as I was thinking about it, I started to say Tuesday evening that I would do one on Wednesday. I thought, no, because I got a demo Wednesday night, so I'm not going to do that to myself or to you all. Then I thought, Brian's not doing anything with his slot on Thursday, so I'm just going to jump in and do it.
Now, Heather bought a new woodworm screw. The outside diameter of the threads are 12.6 millimeters, and she wants to know how big of a hole should she drill. Well, what I would do is take my calipers and measure the diameter of the threads on the inside of the threads, and that's the size hole I would drill.
And test it.
Yes, test it out on a scrap piece of wood.
Yeah, I've had a couple of opportunities for that to figure out exactly what size I wanted for a particular piece of wood. Measure it just like Ruby said. Drill it out, then try my worm screw in it, and lo and behold, for that particular type of wood, it's too big or it's too small, one way or the other.
Yeah.
I have to
And
adjust.
Mike suggests with hardwood you use a larger hole than softwood. That's
Absolutely.
because when you're threading it on, it tends to compress more in softwood than it does in hardwood. Hardwood, it tends to cut its own thread, inside thread.
I'm watching the horizon of this bowl. I can't see the wood where my tool is, but I can see the shadow line up on the horizon.
And Chris Charlton's joined us. Hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris. Water just dripping off my tool. Better. Almost there. Correcting the curve just a little bit. Saw in a comment section one time, somebody was telling another turner, pull cuts are use a pull cut to remove bulk material and push cuts to refine it. I'm thinking, yeah, I can take off an awful lot of material with a push cut.
Yeah,
It really,
depending on the angle you hold the tool at, I would agree.
Yeah, absolutely. You can, yes, you can take a lot of material with a pull cut, but you can also get very delicate cuts, get those little whisper shavings.
And
Oh,
Bailey Woodworks has joined us.
hey, Chris, day off today?
Quite possible. It's a good day for it. Ron Todd says it's the other way around, Doug.
What, take bulk material with push cuts and delicate with, yeah. I mean, that was my thought at the time, but actually, you can do both with both. Um,
Yeah, it's your tool control that determines that.
yeah, and I'm taking little whispers off right now with this little pull, kind of a shear scrape. I'm just trying to refine my curve. It was off just a little bit. I think that's pretty close to where I want it. Get y'all switched around to there. That's too close, isn't it? Back up. Yeah, there's a little bit of a lump right there. Gotta find where it is. Okay. That's amazing. That little tiny bit. And I'm watching the screen right now. I'm not even looking at the wood. But I can see what I was looking at. I can see it disappearing.
Mm-hmm. That's where it's handy to have a dark colored background behind you so that the contour will show up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. While we're here, I'm going to just define that foot just a little bit.
And Jason from Salisbury Crafts has joined us. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Jay. How you doing, bud?
From what I understand, he's about to make some changes to his paints.
Yeah.
So I'll be looking forward to seeing the new colors.
And I haven't forgot you, Jay. I'm yesterday was or Tuesday was dealing with power
Computer
and
issues.
internet issues. So I'll get you squared away here shortly. Well,
We'll pretend we didn't see that.
yes, I can have skate ducks.
Mm-hmm.
I don't present my tool right. I get them just like everybody else does. All right, now that we've done all that, let's come back in here. Now that I've done all that, I'm thinking maybe a recess might be better. And I'm thinking my larger jaws. Use these jaws in a recess. But I have to
Put a combination recess tenon, and uh, and then afterwards, if you want to remove the tenon part and smooth it down, you can put it on a vacuum chuck and do that.
Yeah, one of these days I'm going to get my vacuum chuck for this lathe situated. Right now, my vacuum chuck is on my big bowl lathe that has a 1-inch spindle, where this one has a 1 1/4, and it's set up for that particular vacuum chuck is set up for a shop vac. Ooh, nowhere close.
Well, you can always get an adapter. Ron says if you watch turners competing in the longest ribbon exhibits, they push and pull together.
Yeah, they do.
Yep.
That one that Cindy Droz to host. I can't remember what symposium that is, but anyway, it's that's pretty fun to watch those guys. Some of them get some super shavings.
Maybe you want to change cameras?
Maybe I do. Maybe. All right. Using my parting tool to get it started here.
Alex says that was amazing and with a roughing gouge, he believes.
Oh, and that longest ribbon stuff. Yeah, some of the guys did use a roughing gouge. Things like last year's winner did. And who was one of the guys from Worldwide Woodturners got in on it. He didn't do all that well, but that he was there and that he got involved. But some of the most renowned turners that around. So. All right, now clean up that little recess.
Michael says that at the Rocky Mountain Woodturning Symposium in 2023, most of the demonstrators participated in a longest shaving competition during the closing ceremonies.
Yes, that's the one we're talking about. Yeah.
And
yeah, Cindy Drozda usually MCs that.
Larry Aldridge has joined us. Welcome, Larry.
Hey, Larry. All right, just a variety of tools that I'm using right here. Use my parting tool and Badan to kind of start the recess. Going to use my bowl gouge to clean it out, the center portion out. Now down to my 1/4 inch skew just to undercut as best I can. Well, I'm going to go to a different one. I've got a shorter one here somewhere. Not that. There we go. Little micro skew there.
Mike says he remembers the winning shavings from that stretched out longer than 4 folding tables.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we're set to turn this around. I'm not going to, well, I may want to go ahead and sand. But that looks pretty good. Got a little jumpy here. Some nice curl figure there. The crotch is running right across here, cross figure. This might be really nice with a little color on it.
Heather says her longest ribbon so far was 6 foot 2 inches. And she marked it on her wall.
There you go. There you go. Will that slide underneath? Nope.
And Haley Wooden-Burrell has joined us. Hi, Haley.
Hey, Haley. Lots of folks in today. I'm so glad all of you are here. Like I said, it was pretty much a catastrophe Sunday or Tuesday. My wife says, "Is it really that important that you be on?" Well, yeah.
Well, a lot of people set aside that time specifically to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't on today, I'd be out trimming my hedge. But you gave me a perfect excuse not to have to stand in the sunshine and do it.
Oh, I think I'm seeing where this dark green, well, you can't see it. Where there's some dark green right here on the edge. Oh man, that mouse. He decided to take a dive off the lathe.
He was probably looking for some cheese.
Probably. There we go. Now I can put it back together and then I can show you what I'm talking about. There. All right. That view. There is, I was afraid of that. There's some dark grain right along the edge here. And it's got some side grain, some ripple grain in it. And I'm seeing that. It looks like something I need to sand down, but it won't sand out. So I am going to slow it down just a little more. I was down to 450. Let's go down to 350.
What grid are you starting with?
80.
Okay. Well, Heather says that she usually works on Tuesdays, but she's off every third Thursday, and that's today. That's why she's with us. And Sheila says she's multitasking, cutting up her husband's ripped jeans for some resin and denim work.
It's amazing some of the ideas that come out of Wednesday night.
And Chris says a very valid comment that some people rely on chatting to friendly people when they may have had a terrible week or being under a lot of stress. Well, I'm glad he still finds us friendly, Doug.
I saw very vividly through 2020, all the COVID stuff, all the lockdown and everything, how important our online community is. And so,
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So when I became not only a chat member, but a content contributor, I feel it's very important when we get the platform to maintain it as best we can. So if I'm not here like last Tuesday, you can bet there was a problem that was out of my control.
Well, a lot of people too live alone, and if you're alone, you have no one to talk to or listen to, unless something goes on and you can participate, like people are tonight.
And it was said last night in our group. We get together with relatively like-minded folks, at least on one issue, and we can share and talk and discuss, even debate if we need to.
Yep.
I'm so glad we're able to do that on most of these groups. You can't have a friendly debate in a lot of circumstances, and so I'm glad we have the opportunity here. We can have differing opinions. Heck, I don't agree with Ruby every time. She doesn't agree with me every time.
But that's not very often.
Not very often, but we can, and we know we can disagree, and it's okay.
Well, that's mainly because you're a guy and I'm a gal.
Well, I'm American and you're Canadian.
We're supposed to disagree, true, you're American and I'm Canadian, so.
Yeah.
And Sheila says she's glad I mentioned your live last night, and that's why she's here. Apparently, she's only off on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay.
And Lucy says while she's watching you, she's trying to complete a diamond painting again. She's halfway through.
Okay.
And Roger says he's etching some stuff, he's taking up to try to sell to other wood turners in the area. So he doesn't know how well it will sell.
There is a positive and a negative to turning wet wood or sanding
Yep.
wet wood.
Yeah,
One,
it does mess up your sandpaper. I found the stuff like Abranet tends to work better because you can just take it off and slap it against the
yeah,
waves or something.
right. And the big positive is you don't have the dust.
Right.
Now, well, that looks clean. It's not exactly clean. I can blow that out quite a bit before it's gone, but I can already tell I've lost a lot of the grit on this 80 grit. And the fibers of the wood tend to fold over more, so you don't sand them off as cleanly. That's all the sanding I'm going to do right now. That is just soaking wet. Right there, you can kind of see I wish yeah, there you go. You can see kind of a little more tan and a little more white.
Yep.
That's a dividing line of the moisture. Much drier up here in the white portion than it is down in the brown. Much wetter in the brown. Okay, let's change this out.
And Lucy says she's only got a week left to complete her diamond painting. It's a belated birthday present for her mother-in-law, and they go up on Saturday. You better start pushing yourself a little harder then, Lucy.
There you go.
And Todd says the abracadabra net works like magic.
There you go. I've used some Abranet. I like it okay. It just, to me, it doesn't seem like it holds up very long. It's good stuff. Just seems like I go through it awful fast. And I was thinking about this the other day. There's so many different sandpaper companies. You would think the market would be saturated, but the reason we have so many different companies is because different people have different, they use it differently. We use different pressures. There's that sander. I was wondering where that was. The paper I'm using, not everybody likes it. Some people just don't like it. In fact, I do. It holds up better for me than some of the other brands that people are so tickled with.
I found it depends on what I'm making as to what type of paper I like to use.
Ouch. Yes. I think you're right. Yeah. If I was doing a bunch of resin pens, Abranet would be the stuff. That's going to be too close there. Abranet on acrylic or on resin seems to be the ticket. Still have it too close. Drop my key in the shavings. I may never find it again. There it is. All right. I don't know that that tailstock's going to do me any good right now.
This is when you wish you had a third hand.
Kind of, sort of. Am I on? I'm off. That's why it's. I was wondering why it was still opening up. I wasn't all the way down on my jaws. That's why. Okay, I know what I need to do. Bring that tailstock back. We'll put the cone center back on it. Got to knock it loose so I can put it back in tight. There we go. I've got that little hole there that I have to put a pin in so that I can tighten up the cone center. And it was going in the wrong direction. Now, there we go. Those are so handy.
Yep, they sure are.
To be able to change change whatever it is I'm using on there. There we go. Am I on? I think I am. Now, tighten that down. And again, I like to go around. Don't use a lot of brute force. What I have found in my own case, it's not important to use brute force. It's more important to go around several times and just do what I can with one hand.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to, generally, if I will do that, go around 2 or 3 times, it usually holds pretty well. It's when I don't do that, when I get lazy and just go around once, is when I tend to have stuff fly away. When it becomes birdwood, okay, can't be that close. Okay, this wing is a bit higher than this one, but that's okay. I'm not real concerned about symmetry on this particular piece.
Actually, I think it looks better when it's asymmetrical.
I think so too. Still, it's reversed. I don't want it reversed. 350 is fine, but I want it going forward. Yeah, I think natural edge is much better when it's asymmetrical. In fact, I've got a wing bowl in the store right now that I would have thought would have sold about as quick as I got it in there. Still sitting there. It's been several months, and it's not totally symmetrical, but it's pretty close. Pretty close. Change gouges. That one seems to. The Thompson gouges are great tools. I love my Thompson gouge. But for whatever reason, and I was told when I first got it, a fella told me, if you ever get it sharp, it'll be great, but getting it sharp and then resharpening is going to be your issue. I said, nah, you're crazy. It's going to sharpen just like anything else. And when it's sharp, it'll stay sharp because it's cryogenically treated. I can get it sharp, but it takes a lot longer for me to sharpen it than it does my high-speed steel. But he was right. Once I get it sharp, it stays sharp for quite a while. I get too lazy to spend the time on the grinder sharpening.
Now, sometimes at the start of a piece like that, I'll use my Easy Wood rougher, just take out till it gets smooth. I don't know if maybe we should try the other camera, Doug.
Yeah, probably. Again, I'll leave it zoomed out. Well, maybe you can see zoomed in. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, yeah. I'm just working in for right now, just getting a start.
Jason points out the closer you are to the end of the tool rest, the more movement you get.
Mm-hmm.
Todd
Typically,
wants
yes.
to know if you're using CBN wheels, Doug.
Yes, yes. I've got a aluminum oxide on the left side and a CBN on the right side. I rarely use the aluminum oxide anymore.
And Sprague Wood Turning has joined us. Hi, Jim.
Jim, how you doing? No resin here today, Jim.
Your favorite stuff to work with?
Yeah, my favorite. Not.
Heather just realized her chat wasn't updating.
Oh, really?
I found my computer's been going strange too for the last while.
Huh. So it's not just me, huh?
No, that storm you sent came through you, came up here as well. On the other hand, Jason says his computer was doing the same thing.
Let's see. Before I get that. Oh man, that's still slinging. I need a slicker. Take a pass or two with the rougher.
You know, I found for roughing stuff out that's uneven like that, I find that tends to work really well. And Lucy said she was having the same computer problem. So Jason has deduced that it was the YouTube having a net fart.
Oh, that it could. It could be YouTube. YouTube has issues periodically that I think most of us tend to overlook. So we're down to about a 1/2 inch wall thickness there. I need to definitely go deeper because as you can see, I come along and then all of a sudden, that's what's left of the bark. The rest of it all fell off, so I'm not concerned about bark. But we need to keep going deeper. This rougher is good for that. It's will allow us just to gently come in there and
And Jim says he's editing his own video for tomorrow. You'll have to put the link in, Jim.
yeah, if you get done and get your link up, go ahead and throw it in there. Well, Jim can't. He doesn't have a wrench or a spanner, whatever you want to call it.
And Heather says she might have a video up tomorrow.
Great.
Unfortunately, it's of her failure today.
Oh.
And Lucy says she's going to have to say goodnight, but she'll catch up later. Have
All
a
right,
good night,
Lucy.
Lucy.
Take care, sweet potato. All right, we're getting there. It's encroaching into the bark there. We're getting closer on this side as well. Love it. Just got to keep going. And get a little more. Golly, the water is pouring out of that. All right, we're up to 700 now. That'll help. Carbides like a little more speed than regular tools do.
Yeah, they do. I had to mute for a minute there because that wood was making me sneeze.
Uh-oh.
You're getting nice shavings off of the rougher.
Really am.
And MB Wood Turning has joined us. He
Hey,
just
MB.
finished. He just finished work, so he'll catch up later with the first half.
That's fine. Holy moly. That's off this rougher.
While you're stopped for a minute, do you want to just check your tailstock and maybe your chuck?
Tailstock definitely needed it. Let's try the chuck. As it slings water at me.
That's why I suggested the chuck, because if it's slinging that much water,
Yep.
it might move.
Chuck's pretty good. It's look. That's a shaving.
That's greenwood.
Yep, that's green wood.
Now,
And all this fuzzy here, that's just where it's
the end
the
grain.
carbide's just chewing it up. Yeah, it's coming into the end grain. It's chewing it up, not really cutting it cleanly. But I can come back now with the hollower. This is the
Yep.
number 1 hollower, and it'll cut right through all that.
And Sheila says she did video her project today, but she doesn't know anything about editing and has never posted anything.
Sheila, what'd you record it on? Did you record it on an iPhone? Yeah, took got all that stuff out of there. Excellent. Excellent. It's clinging because it's wet still. Okay, I can't keep going just straight in. I've got to start curving because it's starting to get thinner right there. You know, it's thicker here than it is here.
Yeah. Sheila said she used an Android phone.
Okay. There should be a number of editing applications free that you can download and even do your editing right there on your phone. Heather uses Klein.
Yeah, Jim says you should come to the epoxy dark side, Doug. You'll love it.
I just did an epoxy bowl, Jim. In fact, I think I tagged you on it. It was the cutoff from Pen Blank and some blue and gold epoxy. I just mixed the blue and gold together in the one container, and it came out nice. In fact, that piece sold last week. And I gotta say, I just don't care for epoxy. I just don't care for it. I'm too low. That's my problem, or part of my problem. Yeah, there's still I'm still looking at epoxy shavings on my floor. and I've swept twice.
The Vineyard Farmhouse has joined us. Good evening.
Hey, that is Brian, Ruby.
Brian? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Glad you're along, Brian. And Sheila says designer epoxy is the best.
I know that's what Jim uses, and he gets great results from it. I've not had the opportunity to use any designer epoxy.
Mhm.
This epoxy that I used, that is such a mess. I still think all epoxy is a mess, but I used
Alumilite?
Illuminite. Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yes, it was Illuminite that I bought. It was the kit was on sale. It was a clearance sale. I think it's either the labeling change that they made on it or something. Anyway, it was about 25% off, and it did a great job. I'm not fussing about the epoxy at all. The epoxy did great. Just the mess that it leaves. And I can't, oh, come on. I can't sweep it up and throw it in the compost pile. I have to bag it up, put it in the garbage can.
Yeah, that's the biggest problem with it.
Yeah, that's one of my big issues with it. Take some of the center out, and I want to check that chuck one more time. I think it's okay. I barely touched it last time.
Well, you're not allowed to go through the center and touch it that way.
No. I mean, I could, but I don't want to.
The hardest thing I ever had to do was make a funnel on purpose because I needed a funnel and couldn't find my kitchen funnel.
Yeah. Readjust my tool rest. Man, I'm really surprised that this wood is this wet. I knew it was wet, but I didn't know it was this wet.
I imagine you'll find that right in the center there, it's even wetter than it was on the outside.
Probably. I mean, it's literally still slinging water.
Well, look at it this way. You get a free shower.
Yeah.
But I'll bet you didn't bring any soap.
No. It's on the other side of the basement. It's over with the the clothes washer.
And Sheila says she made a funnel to go with a pepper mill. And Jim says his chat went down as well.
I tell you what, when I win that designer epoxy kit from Jim, that's a big if I ever win it. I will be glad to use that designer epoxy. I'll be happy to use it. And when it works well, I'll brag about it too. It looks like good stuff. Well, if I can get my banjo out of the way, I know what I need to do, but I need to get the longer bar. I got one bar longer than this one.
That's pretty open. Do you have a bottom feeder?
I do.
And Jason says that he has a new distributor who has placed their first order, and the announcement is going to be very soon. Great. Can you tell us what continent it's on, Jason?
Yeah, that's the tool I'm looking for. Holy cow. I mean, that's, let me hold my hand up there for just a few seconds.
Yeah, his new distributor is going to be in the UK. Good.
Can you see that?
Yep.
Almost see the moisture there. It's my hand soaked. A little bit bigger bowl gouge here. There's something that we don't get to mention all that often. Let me lower this just a hair. A lot of times, especially when we get toward the bottom of the bowl, we want to try to go straight across. That's what we tend to do. If you'll start a little higher and raise your handle so you drop your tip, it's a little
Yes.
easier to keep your bevel.
Rubbing.
Keep your bevel in contact.
Might want to go to the longer tool rest so you have less overhang.
Holy moly. I'm just kidding. I haven't turned a piece of wood this green in a long time. It's kind of funny. Every time I get over close to it, it's soaking me. All right, what do I need to go deeper here by about another.
Yeah, I'd change tool rests if I were you so you could get in closer. Because you've got a
Yeah.
lot of overhang on that gouge right now.
Oh, I can reach it barely. Barely.
You don't have a curved tool rest, do you?
No, I sure don't. That might be. It's always a debate what my next tool is. It's hard to decide. When I got this modular, I tell you, I've been tickled with the results. Back when modulars were first introduced, people talk about, oh, you get all this vibration and they'll come loose and blah, blah, blah. And all that's true, unless you take the time to tighten them up real good, like that. Now, and you can see There you go. You can see it's, well, let me get it flush on this end. There's that much more. So that's a big help. Big help. All right, now get this in here where we can do some work. Okay, there, got to move it out. I want to move it this way just a touch.
Jim is asking what the wood is. It's sycamore, Jim.
Green sycamore.
Very green.
Very green. This was a standing tree 2 weeks ago. All right. Excuse me.
Yeah, it was making me sneeze too.
Oh, I'm not sneezing. I'm coughing. Left over from whatever that yuck I had a couple weeks ago. That was awful. I'm still dealing with it. So that's too low for this tool.
That's your finisher?
Yeah. Go to with the finisher instead of the hollower just because I want the larger size. Got a lot of wood to shift yet. And we're already at an hour and 17 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll go for just a few more minutes and then we'll call it a day and we'll finish. I'll save this piece and we'll finish it next week.
Yeah, but it might warp and change shape in that time.
Oh no. Good thing I was planning for that, huh? Like,
Mm-hmm.
no, you can't get shavings from a scraping tool like a carbide, but you can.
Yeah, Jim was saying he's never turned sycamore before, and it's very much like turning a softer maple.
Yes, it is.
In fact, sycamore does belong to the maple family, I believe.
That ridge I was trying to take out on the outside is still there. I feel it. Okay, we still got some thickness there and there, so take out a little more down the side.
Alex says that he thinks sycamore is the closest they get in the UK to maple. Next time I go over to the UK, Jim, or Alex, I'll bring a whole bunch of maple keys and just sort of drop them as I go along.
Yeah, I think this cutter's getting dull too, Ruby.
It's grabbing a little bit.
Yeah,
think-
and it's all of a sudden it quit cutting. It's
Yeah, it looks like the tool rest needs to come up another quarter of an inch.
maybe.
Now, I wouldn't have gone that far without checking my depth and thickness all the way through. But then I guess I'm a paranoid old lady.
You I wouldn't have said that, but you check
I,
it probably more often
you
than I
can
do.
think it, but I just said it.
Yeah, I'm pretty good down to that point right there, and then there's a bit of a hump. This is all a bit of a hump right through there. You
Okay.
can't see it on the camera, but it's not bad. It's not a lot. It is there. Let's see. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this.
As Ward points out, now's a good time to smash the like button, folks.
I am holding this tool, by the way, with the butt of the handle up against my forearm. That way, when it does try to jump up,
It's
I've
got
got
a
it
good
supported.
hold. Yeah.
Unknown caller.
Spam call. I had a call yesterday that the ID said Kingsport, Tennessee. That's the area my wife is from. Her younger sister still lives there. And so I thought, well, I don't know who it is, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Lo and behold, there's a guy here in Kentucky who I guess comes from that area and never has changed his phone.
Sorry about that. That was
Okay.
that was my bank calling to tell me that when they sent a wire transfer to England, there was an extra 17 cents charge, and they wanted to let me know they took it out of my account.
Nice of them to let you know, wasn't it?
Well, I have to say that my bank is really good about stuff like that.
Oh, good. I
And
definitely want
Maple Tree Studios has joined us.
to.
Hi, Dale.
Dale. What's happening, Dale? All right, I'm going to just make a pass or two with the scraper just to kind of smooth it up a little bit.
Yeah, I like those half round thick scrapers. Is that the Sorby?
This is, no, it's a Crown, actually.
Okay.
It's one I've had for years and years.
Yeah, they last forever. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
they're not like a bowl gouge. Like I go through 2 or 3 bowl gouges a year.
All right, that's got it basically smooth. Shoo. And the shavings are wet. They're clinging to everything. That's part of the bowl that I did last week. Okay. It's a little thick on these wings, but it is. Let me change cameras again. I think you'll be able to see. see how white that is, and then there's a line right through there
with the
where
moisture.
it turns tan, and then look how dark it is all the way to here. So from there to there, right at halfway, and then it starts again here, again almost halfway, all on the end grain. It's slinging the water out toward the end grain. All right, so I just smoothed it up. I've got a little ridge. Change cameras so I can show you what we got. Okay, it's fairly smooth from the center all the way to right there, and there's a ridge. I don't know if that's where I don't know what I did, but anyway, it gets. Oh, I remember. I was thinking it's getting thin there, so I quit going straight down and started curving in. I need to bring that out just a little bit more so that it blends together. And we can smooth this section out, the end grain on both ends. Still a bit rough. What I'm going to do right now, because we're an hour and a half in, I'm going to go get a garbage bag. I'm going to wrap this up. I'll actually take this off the chuck, wrap it up, seal the bag, and keep that till next week. And we'll pull it out of the bag next week. Should be on Tuesday. If the lightning doesn't strike close by again and we don't lose our internet again. So hope that sounds like a decent plan to you guys. That's the best I know to do at this point in time. I don't want to keep you all any longer than we have to. So any thoughts or questions before we go?
When you wrap it up, I would wrap it up with a bunch of the shavings that are under the lathe.
Yeah, I've got, let's see, I do that, and then, no, this side, there. I've got shavings. They're up well above my ankle.
Yeah, I have a pail, and I literally put it with shavings in the bottom of the pail, put the bowl in, and then pile the shavings on top.
Yeah, I'll put a handful or two in of the shavings in the bag, put my bowl in there, probably face down, and then load it. Maybe not all the shavings, but a lot of the shavings right on top. Then I'll seal that up. Not super tight. I won't twist it and make it airtight, but fairly airtight. Probably like fold it with a piece of tape maybe. And so anyway, it'll sit there until next week, and it'll be a good bit drier, I'm sure.
Now there's a question here. Did you steal Wayne Clasper's workshop style guide?
No, he and I wrote that together.
And Dale says that he puts his twice turn bowls in paper bags with the shavings.
Absolutely. Yeah, in the end grain areas where it's darker, it's almost 25%. In the side grain where it's lighter, believe it or not, it's still 20%.
That's still high.
Yeah, it's still high. Around here, brown paper bags are like $3 bills. They're hard to find. Hard to find. I would say a $2 bill, but you can find those once in a while. $3 bill is a little tougher. Little tougher. Kind of like a dodo bird, you know? They're hard to find. In fact, that moisture is migrating. It's migrating toward the drier sections. That's interesting.
Yeah, centrifugal force was pushing it out. Now
right.
that it stopped spinning, it's
going back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Going back to its native place. I think what I'll do after I turn the cameras off is come in here and get this ingrained section and blend it with the rest of the bowl just a little bit better before I wrap it up. I think it'll be hard to do later on other than just sanding. And I hate for that lump. There's a lump in there where it transitions from the rough area to the smoother area. And I'm not sure. I can't believe I left that like that, but I did. Anyway, I'll do it now after we sign off, and it'll be there. It'll be ready for us next week to finish up, and we'll see about doing some coloring maybe. I like color when there's a little bit of grain, and this wood does have a little bit of grain. My my crotch grain pretty well is gone. It should have been right across this edge right here. It just wasn't very much of it. And the other half may have more. I've got the other half of this same piece of wood. So I'm excited about that. So if there's nothing else, free at Walmart.
Those are the paper bags.
Yeah. Our Walmart does not have paper bags.
Yeah, ours doesn't either. And several people are happy. Like Heather's going to be on vacation next Tuesday, so she'll be here.
Okay. Yeah, I see that now. No, I didn't steal Wayne Clasper's workshop guide or workshop style guide. I think we worked on it together. He may have gotten his notes from me. A closing song? No. No closing song, Dale. Sorry. After you came up with the Yorkshire Grit song, I think singing on YouTube has been banned. Joe hardly ever sings it anymore. Can't imagine why. Anyway, holy moly. Massive shavings up here right underneath my computer monitor. Those are a 1/2 inch wide and a 1/16 thick anyway. They're heavy.
Alex suggested you use a cardboard box with the shavings. That would
Again, work. If I had one big enough.
You're going to have to go to the grocery store.
I know it. I guess I could unbox some of my books, but no, I'm not going to do that either. All right. It is good to see everybody here. Oh, no. Sheila says her Walmart has, they do have paper.
And her husband got a bunch of them for her.
Okay. It's supposed to be a G, not an H. Hubby hot. Your hubby's hot? Okay. I'm glad you think so.
Yeah, I'll have to meet him or sometime.
Yeah, it's interesting how different grocery stores, different retail stores in general have different things. It's pretty interesting, even though they're part of a big chain. Our Kroger's, I think I can get paper bags at Kroger still, but I have to ask for it specifically. They won't. They're tucked up underneath the checkout aisle, and they don't get them out unless you ask for them. In fact, I've never seen anybody come out of Walmart or out of Kroger with a paper bag. Always plastic. But anywho, Dale, he looks hot in paper bags.
And Sheila says I met him briefly.
Oh, Sheila says you've met her husband there, Ruby.
Oh.
Just very briefly, but you met him. I can't imagine when that might have been, but
I can't either. So.
All right. Before we get into hot water, we better say good night. So, Ruby, anything you need to share?
Nope, not at the moment, other than I hope I see all of you next Tuesday.
All right. Same for me. I hope to see y'all. As long as the creek don't rise and the lightning doesn't hit too close to the house, we'll be here. So with that, I'll say good night, everybody. Have a great week.